discuss different type of information and different stages of information and how do you collect information. Now, let us understand different type of information and different type how information varies, classification of information. First, understand what is action information, non-action information. Action information is that or actionable information that the information is leading to some action. Once you give that information, action has to be taken. For example, you give an information to your employer that Mr. X met an accident, then means you need some action to be taken. So, this is actionable information. Non-action means it is just for information purpose, no action is required. For example, you say Mr. X is now well, he is now walking, then there is no action to be taken. So, this is called non-action information. Similarly, recurring versus non-recurring. Recurring means frequently, regular interval you are getting information. For example, sales data. Sales data is recurring data. Every month, every day you ask your sales people to give data, sales data, and so every month sales data, every year sales data. But non-recurring is, for example, once in a year, it is not regular interval. After 1 year, 2 years you get one report. For example, balance sheet is only one non-recurring report or one return after end of the year. Now, let us understand internal versus external information. Any internal information means information that is collected inside your organization. So, whatever information you create or you collect or you generate is called internal information, whereas external information is outside, library, secondary sources, database, newspaper, internet, these are called external data sets. Now, let us understand how information is presented. How information is presented. Information can be presented in various ways: reports, balance scorecard, alerts, some type of graphs, charts, story card. So, different ways one can present information. So, depending on the way you present information. You should also know information how it is related to uncertainty. Sometime information reduce uncertainty, sometime information increases uncertainty. Okay, let us understand how information reduces uncertainty. So, for example, it is raining and you do not know whether school is open or not. Just you received one SMS that the school is closed. Now, there is no uncertainty, you understand that the school is closed. So, this is the way how information is reducing uncertainty. This is because based on the theory, information theory. But the another theory called Rogers theory says that information also increases uncertainty, means more the information, more it uncertainty. If you, this is a debatable statement, but these are the two thoughts in reality in the literature, that information can also increase the uncertainty. For example, a new product or new type of like a message is given to you that you use this type of computer. Now, you are not accustomed to that computer. You are flooded with information how to use a mobile, new mobile and all. So, then you say there is uncertainty, you are not interested in adopting the system. So, this is called innovation of a information product. So, this type of issues, this type of scenarios, it increases the uncertainty. So, information not only increases and also it decreases the information this thing. So, now information is person dependent. So, here then let us understand how information, what is the value of information? Is there any value of information? Yes, information has a value, because you put lot of money, efforts, collect data, store data, process data, analyze data, and disseminate data. Definitely you put cost and efforts, and After that, what benefits you are getting, what output you are getting. So, if benefit you are getting is less than what money you put, then the value is less. So, each and every information has a value, and you must find out the value of information, and then only you can ask for the information, because it has a value, otherwise it will be useless, it will be negative for your company. Now, let us understand what is economics of information. Now, economics of information is basically how information is impacting your economics. Microeconomics theory gives you this idea that economics of information influence the business, organization and individuals. And some people have more information, some people have less information, and because of that the bargaining power of one entity is more than that of information the other entity. Hence, the business, there are challenges for some people, there are less challenges for some people, and the importance increases. So, here in this case, a company, those who know more information, they are in advantage position than who have less information. So, this type of situation creates one concept called perfect information. Does it exist or is it a myth? Perfect information means absolute truth. Is there any absolute truth? Yes, it may exist, but getting that perfect information may be very costly affair. You may take so many years to get that information, or at the end of the day you won't get any value of the information. Then what is the point of running after perfect information? It is a myth. For example, you want to know what is your competitor's tender price. It is simply impossible to go find out. You put lot of money and all, you cannot get the truth value. You get near to truth value. You spend so much of money, at the end you won't get. It is a myth. So, this is about perfect information. Now, this concept leads to another concept called information asymmetry or symmetry. And if you remember, we discussed information economics, that organization, people and agency have different bargaining power depending on their information in hand. So, some company have more information, some company have less information. A dentist knows more than the customers or the patient how to operate. This is called information asymmetry. Those who are having IT skills or IT systems, they know more information than the other who do not have. But symmetry information means all parties who are involved in transaction are having equal information in hand. They are able to achieve equal information. So, this is basically symmetric and asymmetry, and because of this the entire business gets, some people get advantage, some organization get advantage, and it is known as, otherwise known as information leadership, which we will discuss afterwards. The last one is like importance of the information in business. Information has a lot of importance in business. A business, it changes the way how business is done. If more the information and more the different type of information, then you have more bargaining power to deal with people, customers. So, information technology, information lead to such type of symmetry of information, but still then in asymmetry you can create asymmetry of information by creating programs and all, so that you take advantage of knowing more than what other people know and you take advantage of that. We discussed how important information is in business, organization, daily life of people. Let us understand what is the role of information at different levels of management. So, you must be knowing there are 3 levels of management: strategic level, management level, middle level and lower level or operational level. So, these are the 3 levels. Each level expect different type of information for different purpose. So, how are you going to use information? Information can be used for decision making, for argument, for drawing inference, for management control, for reporting, for coordination, for different parts of the different type of activities at different levels of management. Each level require information for different type of operations, different type of activities. So, for example, the strategic level deals with strategic type of information. They want strategic information. Management level or middle level want management control, reporting type of information, and the lower level deal with they execute plans taken by the higher level. So, in that case they try to get information on operations. So, operations information they want so that they can execute the plans, and management control, the second level, want information so that they can monitor, they can control whatever plan by the management. They want to see whether it is getting done by the lowest level or operational level, and they find deviations and report to the management, top management. They act in between top management and middle and bottom management. So, then each of the level of the management need different type of information. So, this is the role of information, how it is used in different levels of management. Let us understand how information is used in decision making. You must be knowing Simon model. Simon model has 4 stages. First is intelligence stage, second is design stage, third is choice stage, and fourth one is implementation stage. In intelligence phase, you collect information as much as possible so that you can design. It will help you in design, and in the design mode you try to find out different alternatives, find solutions and find solutions, different type of alternatives. And in the choice mode you select one particular type of information or decision, a particular type of alternatives, and in the fourth stage you take action or implement. For example, you want to buy a car. So, first you collect information about different type of cars, different parameters, different brands, that is called intelligence phase. Then you select, you design what are the alternatives you have in your mind. So, this is called design, and then based on some parameter information you choose which car you want to buy, and implementation you buy the car. So, this is called role of information in decision making, and we use Simon model. Let us understand what is information leadership. You see, information is power, knowledge is power, more the information, more the power. So, organizations tend to use information technology to acquire power. In this context, some organizations or one of the organization, to get competitive advantage, build some type of information system or software. So, they take the power, they get all the information, and then the business is asymmetry. So, some organization know more than others, and they do business on that information only, that is called information leadership. Their entire strategy, entire business is based on the information leadership. They make money, more customers based on that, and that is information leadership. Then you must know about security, and information security is nowadays hot topic. Information security is that you must protect your information, and information security is nothing but you manage your security information, you protect your information by using different type of hardware, software, different type of private security threats you try to address by using various tools and process. That is known as information security. Similarly, another term is very popular called information services. In these services, information services, some departments like government, some department they provide information. So, that is known as service provider, or they provide information specific to some specific areas. So, they provide information. So, this is all about information and how data is different from information life cycle, different category of information, and how information helps in management. Let us understand what is knowledge. Knowledge is power. You must come across the word knowledge. Someone is knowledgeable. So, you have come across three words: data, information, and the third one is called knowledge, and the fourth one is called wisdom. Now, knowledge, what is knowledge? How it is different from knowledge, information? If you see this example, let us try to find out 5 6 ja 30. This is the information. But if I give this information, can you find out 5 6 2 8 multiply 6 8 9 8? If you can't do, that means you are not able to apply your knowledge. You know multiplication tables, but you are not able to find the multiplication, this multiplication. Then that means you are not able to create the mental map or of the information, hence you lack knowledge. Now, what is knowledge? Knowledge is basically like knowledge is discovered, whereas information is extracted, where knowledge is discovered. You have lot of information and you need the information and draw a conclusion, it is called knowledge. It is justified true belief. It is knowledge is, there are different type of knowledge. So, knowledge is different from data, and if you see this, how it is different from information. Information is basically backward looking and knowledge is forward looking. Knowledge is your belief, knowledge is your experience, knowledge is about your perception, this is about your knowledge. So, you must know the difference between information and knowledge. This table will give a list of the difference between information and knowledge. Information is reactive, but whereas knowledge is proactive. Information is extracted, where knowledge is discovered. So, there are various ways of information is less value, where knowledge is more value, because it is proactive in nature. So, now there are different type of knowledge, and one of the difference is a type of knowledge is explicit and implicit knowledge, tacit knowledge. Explicit knowledge is knowledge that is recorded, that is coded in pen and paper. So, for example, HR policy is one explicit knowledge, where tacit knowledge is what is residing in your brain. So, that is called tacit or sticky knowledge, but explicit is known as leaky knowledge. So, explicit means it is easy to transfer, easy to record, but low cost, low benefit or value than explicit knowledge. Explicit is more personal, tacit is more personal, where explicit is more organizational. So, these are the difference between explicit knowledge and tacit knowledge. Now, let us understand how knowledge is presented. How knowledge is presented? If you see this, knowledge can be presented in 4 ways. One is called predicate calculus, second is called production rules, third is called semantics and semantic nets, and the fourth one is called frames and scripts. Now, let us understand means how knowledge is presented. Predicate calculus. Predicate calculus is a mathematical logical system. If K1 is true, K1 implies K2 and then K2 is true. This is mathematical logical system, and in this logical system we generally use Prolog. Prolog is a programming language and which is exclusively used for this such type of predicate calculus. This is the one way of presenting knowledge. The second one is called production rules. If age is 24 to 26, male most likely may not going to return the loan if taken. This is called some type of production rule. This is an example of production rules, one way of presenting the knowledge. Semantic nets. You want to present information about relationship. For example, like head of a tiger. Panthera is a tiger, tiger is a mammal, mammal is an animal. You want to represent this is a relationship. So, you need to take the help of semantic nets. Semantic nets is a pictorial diagram of relationship. The fourth one is called frames or scripts. What is frames or scripts? Frames means you want to explain one object, you want to explain one car. You say that car is this, car brand is this, car has 4 wheels. You put all the information in one table. This is called frame. This is one representation of knowledge. Similarly, scripts, how script is written. Women driving a car, you want to write a procedure. So, how women drive a car? Open the door, unlock the key, like this. There are various steps of starting the car and driving the car, and you want to write that knowledge. So, you use called as script. This is one type of presentation of knowledge. So, this is all about how knowledge is presented, and then different type of IT system used to store in technically in computers. So, what is declarative knowledge and procedural knowledge? So, there are two type of knowledge we must know: declarative knowledge, procedural knowledge. Declarative means you have some knowledge that how to ride a bus. So, this is everybody knows, it is a general purpose knowledge. It is not, but how to remove a teeth, how to remove a tooth, a doctor, it is a procedure, doctor has to apply certain steps. So, this is called procedural knowledge. Similarly, you must know about two types, a priori knowledge and posterior knowledge. So, this type of knowledge is a priori knowledge, means you have something in mind or some knowledge, but in posterior knowledge means afterwards you know some knowledge. So, this is the difference between these two knowledge. And finally, you must know what is wisdom. Wisdom is nothing but application of knowledge, and this is, there are many people who have knowledge, but they do not apply. So, they do not have wisdom. The last one in the knowledge sector you must know is DIKW, data, information, knowledge and wisdom. So, this is the hierarchy. First you have data, then you have information, then you have knowledge, and then you have wisdom. So, this is the one way of discovering of knowledge and wisdom. So, besides that you must know what is objective knowledge and what is subjective knowledge. Objective knowledge is that you have some knowledge which is concrete, which is objective. For example, HR policy is objective knowledge, whereas in case of subjective knowledge means mostly it is your experience, your belief, it is tacit knowledge, is subjective, your description of a knowledge. So, this is subjective knowledge. Is general knowledge versus specific knowledge. You have some general knowledge about like how one operation is done, but in case of specific knowledge you know in specific how, for example, a doctor knows how a tooth is removed. This is specific knowledge, he has experience. But general knowledge means how to travel by bus, it is a general knowledge, many people know, it is general purpose. Now, let us understand organizational knowledge versus embedded knowledge. So, organizational knowledge is basically knowledge which is available in organization, many experience, many type of operations they do some strategy, lot of activities they do. So, that is called organizational knowledge. It is in the form of papers, it is in the form of policies, it is the form of database, though it is stored and it is very much known as organizational knowledge or OK. Similarly, embedded knowledge, many times knowledge is embedded in different system. So, now let us understand what is knowledge discovery. So, if you see the discovery of knowledge, how knowledge is discovered by using information technology. from the computer science perspective, knowledge is nothing but a prediction, a sequence, association, outlier, one link discovery, one type of forecasting. These are known as knowledge according to computer science. So, how do you discover such knowledge? So, that knowledge is discovered by using data mining tools, neural network tools, and this is the way how knowledge is discovered. And there are many tools and techniques available to discover knowledge. So, these are the two different areas of knowledge. One is tacit knowledge, organization knowledge, tacit knowledge, explicit knowledge, and the other type of knowledge we call as like prediction, association. So, you take it will be proactive action, you can take proactive action rather than reactive action. Now, what is value of knowledge? Do they have value? Yes, information has a value, similarly knowledge has a value. So, knowledge is basically value of knowledge means you get data, you get information, you put all type of systems, you process the data and information, then you apply data mining, you apply different type of tools and techniques, then you derive knowledge, you extract, you discover knowledge. Hence, there is a value of knowledge. You put money, efforts for gathering data, processing information, and then you discover the knowledge, and how much value you get, how benefit you get, and whatever you benefit you get minus how much cost you incur is called value of knowledge. And the people who are working in this knowledge era or is known as knowledge workers.